It's Thursday, people, which means it's the We Outside live cast, which means it is season 2, episode 1. Thanks for tuning in. If you have not tuned in for season 1 yet, there's a couple of these available on Facebook now, and we've actually started uploading them to YouTube as well. So we got our first 2 episodes up already, and you can go view those. As always, if you've not been with us before, we're going to let Discreet get up on here. We got Groovy Hospitality, my brother, a.k.a. DJ Gruv, my brother Tonio, that I've known for a lifetime and a day. So bear with us here. We're going to get them going. We're talking DJing today. We're talking hospitality today. Hip-hop history is going to be really dope. And our hot takes are generally, and more times than not, influenced by who our special guest is and or what they do. So we're going to talk DJs in our hot takes today. So check in with us because it's going to be a dope show. It's a great way to kick off season 2, episode 1 here on We Outside Livecast. Right now, momentarily, if Facebook lets us. It's trying, Discreet. It's trying. You might have to do the thing, Discreet, where you back up and then come back in, because it's not adding you right now at the moment. Because we got to get Groove on as well. I'm going to try again, Discreet. So I just sent you the invite, bro. All right, I'm going to try sending. I'm not unable, so Discreet, go out, come back in. You know how it goes. Got to wait for Tone to hop on, too. All right, Discreet, saying unable to add you, but it says already a guest in this broadcast. Let's try this. Approve, send invite. No, I said, yeah, Discreet said unable to bring you in. So you're going to have to go back probably and then come back in. Tone's going to hop on in 5 minutes. I got you, Tone. I see you. But we got to get Discreet on. Yeah, Discreet, you're going to have to hop out, I think, and then hop back in, bro. But anybody that's just tuning in right now, season 2, episode 1, it's about to start. We're talking with Groovy Hospitality, my brother, DJ Gruv. I've known him forever as Tonio. We are going to get into his story today. We're going to talk about how we connect. Hip-hop history is going to be really, really dope. All right, Discreet, I'm going to try to bring you in here in a second. Hip-hop history is going to be really dope today. Hot takes are going to be about DJs and producing. So stick around for hot takes as well. Yeah, go ahead and send a request, Discreet, and let's see if we can get you on that way. But yeah, it is. It's going to be a great way to kick off season 2. We'll let you know at the end of the show who the next couple guests are going to be as well. And then again, reminder, we got our first 2 episodes from season 1. Jay Peasy, shout out to Jay Peasy, and Van Verhoevens from my lovely area of Colorado just got loaded up yesterday. So go to the YouTube channel, We Outside YouTube channel. and start watching those back. Even if you've already watched them, there's a lot in there. I watched them back a couple times, and there's still some more shit in there for me to listen to. Of course, we're having some issues with Discreet. But again, I'll kind of give you the rundown of our guests while we're waiting for Antonio to get on as well. My boy Tony, I've known him since I was 14, 15 years old, all the way back to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Tone started DJing at about 14 or 15 years old, doing house parties and stuff like that. Him and I have thrown parties together. Him and I have been part of things together. Our most recent together event was my 25-year high school reunion, which went off without a hitch this past July. Shout out to everybody that put that together and everybody that came out. Discreet said connection failed, so I'd say try it one more time. I'm actually going to try to bring you on Discreet, so bear with me here for a moment. I'm going to add you, sending you the invite. Let's see if that works. If not, you might have to hop back out to hop back in. But yeah, very excited about Tonio. There he goes. We're going to bring Tone. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can get Discreet on, and then I'm going to bring you right on video, Tone, because I'm viewing you right now and can add you. But Discreet, you might have to pop back out, possibly. We'll find out here in a second. All right, let me try to bring Groove on then. Send invite. Tone, here we go. All right, Discreet, I kicked you off so I can get Tone on. Discreet, we're going to have you pop back in. But I'm adding Tone right now. There we go. What's good, my brother?
What's good, man?
How you doing? I feel you, bro. I feel you. Hey, we got this. Hey, we're outside.
I'm great. We're outside.
We're gonna have some good conversation. We're waiting for the alien Discreet to get on Facebook, as sometimes it does. Was being a little bit of an asshole and not letting him in, but he might just have to pop back out to pop back in. But
right,
that's
it's all
where
good.
we're at, bro. That's where we're at, man.
I want to share this to my feed.
Yeah, no, do your thing, bro. I just did the same thing as well. But now I'm ready. We're gonna have a dope show. I'm excited. We're gonna kick things off with you, and then if you end up having the time, because I know you got the boys. If you end up having the time after your segment, we're gonna go into hip hop history, and then our hot takes this week are gonna be they are being influenced by your experience with what you do and what you've done for fucking ever. And we're gonna be taking some hot takes on DJs who started out as DJs and then became producers. So if you got time, it would be dope to have you for that. But I understand, like everybody has got lives and kids and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's all good, man. Yeah, I have a little bit of time here, man. I'm excited.
All right, perfect.
You know?
So why don't we do this then? Because we're waiting for Discreet to get on in the interest of getting things going. As you were getting on right before you got on, I gave him my words, your introduction, as I normally do. Let the people know a little bit of who you are, but take a couple minutes, bro, or however long you need, even if it's only 15 seconds. Let the people outside with you today. Let them know what you're about, who you are, bro.
Yo, man, I am a kid from the ghetto of Connecticut, and I am trying to leave a legacy. Everybody says that, right? But very few people act on it, and very few people put the changes in motion to be that person. And with music as a foundation, we're making that happen. That's the smallest version that I can give, and it's been a long journey to get there, and it's been a long journey to I just dropped you. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, bro. I drive myself all the time, bro. It's all good.
to get to where I am now and where we are, and bro, it's beautiful. Growth is a beautiful thing, and I just so to answer your question of what I'm here to navigate others in a better path to reach the same destination, and that's it. And I think we are here. You definitely. We're here to. We were chosen to take those other paths, right? Because God, the universe, Allah, Buddha, right, predetermined that we are strong enough to absorb it.
Yes.
And often we don't realize that that's our purpose. But the second we do and do something about it, that's where life begins.
Yep.
And for me, it began at 38, 37, 36 years old. Imagine being an adult with kids, 5 kids, and being able to genuinely say, I'm now experiencing happiness for the first time. It's almost selfish, because it's like, how can you not experience happiness when you have children and a wife and a you know, I have all the things that you need. I have a beautiful family, extended family. I have 5 great kids who tell me they love me every day. I have an amazing business. I've been in places that people dream of. And you know what? Half of those places that people dreamt of and I dreamt of, I was able to be at. And once I was there, I found little to no fulfillment, because I was feeding people, spaces, and things that were not in alignment to the destination in which I wanted to go, right? Ultimately. And that has changed. Every 5 years, we want something new. We want something different.
Yes.
Right? 20 years ago, I was chasing, let me do the proper timeline so I don't offend anybody, but a long time ago, I was chasing women. A long time ago, I was chasing drugs, chasing alcohol, chasing, the nightclub experience, and, all that. I did it. What's up, bro? And
what's up, man?
What's up, man? And,
keep going.
What has happened now is, when you realize you're the chosen one, right? Follow my timeline here. When you realize you're chosen for this path, you got to go to those dark places, and you have to ask yourself, it's no longer, I'm supposed to be here because this is my karma. It's I was supposed to be here because I'm supposed to take something from this, right? Every dark place I was in, every single dark place I was in, I took something from, right? And I'm applying it now to try to put out a different frequency than I was putting 5 years ago, and 5 years before that, and 5 years before that, and 5 years before that, right? And you lose a lot of friends along the way, but then you realize that you meet people at a certain level that you are mentally, and those are the people that you will naturally be in those circles until you realize that you have to move past that. And when you move above it mentally, when you level up, not everybody's going to go with you. Not everybody is going to be on your level. And then you start getting treated differently, and you realize this person's treating me like the old version of me. This group is treating me like the old version of me. You know what I'm saying, bro? And that came with a lot of experience, and I'm still going through it, bro. I don't have it figured out. I don't have my shit together. My shit's all over the country right now. But I absolutely have owned my purpose, and I know that there's not a single day, Mike, you know this because you deal with me a lot. The purpose remains the same every day, man. So sorry for the long, extended 15-second answer. But most certainly,
it sounds like myself talking.
Yeah,
it
bro.
sounds just like me. I totally know where you're coming from in what I've just heard you said.
Yeah, and
I was struggling to get on.
No, I know.
But I got there.
We got you. With that said, proper introductions, Discreet, my brother out in England. Meet Tonyo, aka DJ Gruv.
Tone, nice to meet you, man.
Who's sitting
nice to meet you as well,
out in Miami right now. Now I'm glad we were able to get you on, Discreet. But Tony, it's
when there's
funny.
a will, there's a way.
Man, ain't that the motherfucking truth, Discreet? But Tony, you don't gotta apologize, because when we outside, we're here for organic conversation, bro. So if you go off on a 10-minute fucking monologue, bro, you go on a 10-minute monologue. Do you think? But it's funny that you say that, because yes, I mean we obviously clearly know a lot about each other. We've known each other for fucking ever, bro. We're doing shit on a daily right now as well. But it was funny that you mentioned the 5-year thing, right? And being selfish. I want to pick out those two specific things, because it's funny. Chelsea and I were sitting at the table today, and as you both know, she's working on becoming a tattoo artist, because she's a dope ass artist, and she's working on becoming a tattoo artist literally in the moment. And we were sitting down and we were talking about what we do with the We Outside Livecast, and what Tone, you and I are building, and just everything, right? And it's funny, we're at like the 5 working on 6-year mark of what we've been doing for the last 5 years, and I love it. We make good money doing it, but to your point that you also made in there, Tone, I've leveled up from that. I met that challenge. I'm gonna be doing it in a different way now, right? I'm still doing that, but I'm not doing it like we did for the last 5 years because I need to be leveled up. I need to be challenged much
Correct.
more in a way. And I think you put that very eloquently because Chelsea literally said, basically in almost same exact words, she's like, it's funny because we told ourselves once upon a time, years ago, that there's going to be a day and time where we are going to be selfish in the standpoint of we're going to do what we're passionate about and what we want to do. And it like hit us today, sitting down, having a cup of coffee, taking that breath. Right. So I think that was, I think that was very fitting. And it was also more fitting because this is episode 1 of season 2. And what more of a better way to kick this shit off with what you just dropped on us
New season premiere. It's my favorite line, man. Everything's a season, man. The good seasons, the bad seasons, the wondrous seasons, right? It's just, I think it's a matter of keeping your character the same no matter what through those seasons. It's a matter, I used to get mad at, I don't want to talk too much into religion, but I used to speak to the person I fear up there, and I would tell him, I would say, why is this happening? Why? And instead trying, because we're human, to take that as part of the purpose. It's the distraction that's removed. It's like when you see it, when you demolition, I said it to Mike, when you redo your kitchen,
he puts in front of you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I call it the breakdown. Whenever the breakdown happens, it's everything going wrong everywhere. At one point in life, I'd panic. Oh my God, what am I doing? Now it's like, oh shit. Oh, the demolition is in place. I can't wait for what's about to happen. Whatever's about to happen is gonna be massive, and I've gone through it. I've gone through it. I go through it now. I feel like we all do, right?
Yeah.
And dude, I think, dude, we have a purpose, man. It's so much bigger than what people think. We all do.
Exactly.
But only a small percentage of us actually hone in on that and hyper focus on it and say,
and
all right, this little, right. And it's always in the form of a pinhole. How do we, the pinhole isn't the true size. It's the distance you're from it, right? The closer you get, that light's going to get louder and louder and louder.
Bigger.
And I'm experiencing that in like the most beautiful ways in life right now, man. And again, things are not, I don't have it together, bro. I don't, but I definitely have a vision, and I have my purpose, and I have my light. And that's all I need. That's all anybody needs, man. And so we have a mission, and it's to get into the minds of children and teenagers and allow them to get a bigger view of what the possibilities are to de-stress. Because as a child, it's easy to de-stress in so many ways. I'm a product of it. All right. When I was a kid, I was sexually molested in the most violent fucking way you can imagine at 11 years old, dude. Right? My whole life my childhood taken from me. I didn't know how to hug anyone, love anybody. I didn't know how to dude, it ruined my life. Ruining relationships. I found drugs. I found alcohol at 16 years old, 17 years old, marijuana, cocaine came into my life. Man, that was great. It really was, because it allowed me to escape my life. But it was.
I'll tell you something now. I've done a lot of drugs in my time.
I'm sure you have.
I do not regret any of it. Yeah. I don't do them now, but I don't regret that time. I don't regret it.
Yeah. Because you had to go through it, right, dude? You had to, and we got on the other side of it. And there's so many people who didn't. There's so many people who didn't make it. Didn't make it. And I sit here now sober. Outside of marijuana, which I faithfully promote and faithfully, right? It's medicinal if it's not, as long as it's properly used and not abused. It changes lives, brother. And I just I'm in the process of creating the loudest PA system so that we can get this message out to the world.
Yeah.
And that's really it. And a lot of people see the DJ behind the decks or the art, whatever it is. But behind all that is the foundation that we're trying to build, and it's seed by seed, bro. Seed by seed, man.
And I want to touch on that real quick. And Discreet, I know you'll want to, because we've talked about it. It's very similar, to what we talked about with Joe Black out of Kansas City about a month ago, right? And Tone, I talked to Caitlin this morning. I actually talked to Caitlin probably about 2 hours ago with what that we've collectively got going on in the background. And you're right, bro. Like, I'm here to help you make that loudest PA system You know, that's what we are, you know, the outside, and it's funny, and we'll talk offline on this, Tone and Discreet, how that plays into everything as well. But it's funny because with what you're building, Tone, out in Fairfield in that area, and what's going on in Kansas, I talked about it with Caitlin today. There's direct synergy going on right now, bro. So I said, like, long term, wouldn't it be dope if like Kansas City and like Bridgeport, Fairfield, whatever the cases, could be like sister cities in this long term cause? Because there's so Tone. With that said, talk a little about what we're, you know, you and I know what the fuck we're talking about. Discreet knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let the people outside know, you know, what the fuck we're talking about. Emerson, what's up?
Isn't it?
You know,
which one? Which one?
Man, I guess right. Where do you really want to start? But let's talk about let's talk about the foundation of the program that you're essentially bringing in and you know, cultivating in the school systems.
Right. So what? We're not ready to fully disclose the whole project, right? But what the idea is, when I was young, I didn't have a safe place to go to outside of my home, and my home was a loving home. There wasn't abuse in my home, nothing of that nature at all. But you know, I had a lot of age gap between my brother and sister, and I just wasn't stimulated. I didn't care for school. I didn't care for, when I went to school, my grades were shit. They were absolute horror. They were terrible. Terrible.
We went to school together, bro.
We went to school, right? They were terrible. I was more concerned about the social end of my life and being accepted and finding a group. And
I didn't even pick up my grades.
Yeah, dude, I none at all, right? Absolutely just garbage. And it's because I thought something was wrong with me, right? And something was wrong with me, and mentally I still hadn't dealt with the trauma in which I had experienced, you know, less than 12 years prior to me being in the situation, right? So I couldn't learn. And the second I found music, the second I discovered music, my father, because of my father, literally, first turntable, first record, Queen, I Will Rock You. Second record, Debbie Deb.
Oh man, my mum loved Queen. That was some of my first influences in music.
Yeah, man, my
Queen.
First vinyl records. And then when I put it on the turntable, and the very first hand movement, I was like, oh shit, this is dope. And there began an entirely new me. I no longer cared about what was going on the street. I did what I had to do to get a little DJ thing in my house, and I just stayed in my house. Every day after school, I'd go straight home and just practice, and I would start counting beats. Oh, I noticed that the chorus drops every four beats. Okay. Or every 8 beats, we add in a snare, so something new is introduced there. Okay. I started figuring it out. Yeah. And then when I finally figured it out, I was able to create. And when I was able to create, I became happy, right? Now, pause that. My children, they hate school. I'm just gonna be honest. My youngest children do not like school whatsoever, right? They just not. It's not their thing. They don't get stimulated by the current old school textbook. They sent home a sheet the other day for my kid, and it said, "Circle the thing that doesn't match." And it was a Walkman from like the 80s, like a CD Walkman. My son said, "What is that?" I was like, "What the hell is it?" So yes, that doesn't belong. You're right, right? So point is that they sit in class all day. They sit in class all day. Now these teachers are doing their best to get to these kids. I know half of them. They're doing their best. They're spending their summers. They're spending their entire lives creating curriculums that will entice these children. But unfortunately, they're also being created under the guideline of the people above them, right? The educational system is not stimulating our children, our kids' minds in any way, shape, or form. However,
there's so many things they should be teaching them, but they don't want to. It's because it's too complicated.
They want, all they care about is high test scores. The schools, they only care about high test scores, and they care about setting you up for the workforce, right?
They don't want to teach you how to manage money in school. Why is that never taught?
Well, I think
exactly.
Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny?
They don't want to give you the real things to like. To your point, you live in a box, right? You live in a box for, you know, if you go all the way through college, right, as many as 14, 15, 16 years, longer, maybe depending what your practice is going to be, you are being conditioned along the way to do exactly what Tone said, to go be this is what society
what they want you to do.
They only prepare you. That's it.
Go work your overtime, pay fucking taxes, blah, blah,
exactly. right?
Nah,
Go
bro.
They're
behind the
only
desk.
they're only setting you up for that. Now, okay, and not the
Exactly.
teachers. I have to say this. It's
Yes,
not the
correct.
teachers. It
It's
is
the
not the
system.
teachers.
It's the
It's not the
system.
teachers. I've
No,
spoken to numerous teachers today. It's
it
not
is the system.
the teachers. It's the system.
Yeah.
Now the teachers have to work this program. Now the teachers aren't in it for the money. I promise you, they're not.
It's a bit like
I
police.
promise you, they're
Yeah, to your
in it
point, people,
because
they're spending their own money for school supplies in some cases.
100%,
Which is
100%.
Fucked up.
Listen, they're doing whatever they got to do so they can fulfill their purpose, right?
Yep.
Mm.
My son came home the other day and said, "I don't want to go to school tomorrow," as they always do. And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because some of the other kids aren't very nice to me, and they all have their other groups of friends, and I can never find the right table to sit at." Right? This is a normal childhood problem. I said, "Well, how are your classes?" He said, "They're boring." I said, "Well, why are they boring?" "Well, we just sit down all day." The 4-year-old, literally, 4-year-olds and drunks don't lie, right? They tell you the truth
Yep.
all day,
Yeah.
right? He comes home. We have a drum system, a drum kit we bought for him. Bro, I've created a way to teach him math through drumming. He's coming home now and asking, "When's the next lesson? When can we get on the next lesson? How can what can we learn next?" Why is that? So your original question was, what are we doing? Well, what I want to do, Mike, is create a safe space for kids. Teenagers that want to get away from their arguing parents at home, and their parents are at home arguing over money, or they don't want to be in an environment where their parents are arguing about anything, or maybe they have a separated home, which is completely common these days, right? Blended family, stress at home for whatever it is. It's hard for kids to focus on the things they're supposed to learn when you have that distraction in the background. It's very impossible. Take it from me. If my parents never thought about if my parents never thought about money, I never would have heard them fight ever. They wouldn't have had one argument. Everything was about money. My dad was always mad. My dad's gone, right? May he rest in peace. But it took for me to have my own family, my own shit, to realize this is why he was punching holes in the wall. Because he can't get through a day. He can't give his kids and their family what he wants, because we're all working on the bare minimum, right? And the schools aren't doing anything. If we can create a space where we can initiate a project-based learning through music, through arts, through I mean, there's so many avenues, bro.
Create
in alignment with local curriculums. There's a lot of homeschoolers. There's not a lot of DJ schools. There's not a lot of schools that will teach you that you don't have to pay your entire salary for. There's nothing within the means of the people that need the help, that genuinely want their children to learn better, that genuinely want their children to be more prepared for the life that we're currently in, not the life we were in 30 years ago. Things are different now. I would like to create a program where they can learn the fundamentals. They should be able to learn the fundamentals, as well as learn something with their hands and create, man. Like, it saved my life. It saved my life. It literally saved my life. I would not be here had I not gotten that record.
Yeah, same here with making music. I don't know where I'll be.
It wouldn't exist, man. So right now what we're working on is a project where we can do just that. And I think we're on the right path, and I think we have the right people. You know, the biggest challenge right now is going against the world. Going against the world, which is the hardest thing for any child to deal with. We as adults know how to deal with it. But how hard is it for someone to tell you, "Hey, man, stop being depressed. You're fine," right?
Yeah.
It's impossible, because you're like, "Oh, we're overthinkers." But you tell a 4-year-old who's sad about something he just broke, it's probably within minutes that he's going to be okay, because he doesn't have 40 years of trauma to tell him that it's not going to be okay. Do you understand?
Exactly.
And I think it's our purpose to instill this in them now, and to set them up with the workforce that's out now, right? For the workforce, rather. And that's our mission that we're trying to create right now, man. And I'm literally going all in on this thing. And I hope it works out. you know, because the purpose is real, it's authentic, and my children personally are products of this issue. And you know, I guys, I don't know, man. I don't really care about the clubs and the parties and the celebrities and the bottle services, and I did all that, man. I did it. I had fun. I had a good time, bro. And I didn't get arrested, and I didn't, you know, I don't have any.
Same.
Right, nothing crazy. Maybe a couple handcuffs here and there, but you know,
I've
I'm
been
crazy,
lucky.
right?
I've been lucky. I feel like it. Nowadays, I honestly feel like it's just angels looking out for me.
Yeah,
I
man.
really do.
Right.
Really.
So yeah, Mike, that's the plan. The plan is to make everything that I've learned personally and get a group of people who have also learned on the dark side and have come to the other side and create a navigational system for our children to know the right path, to get the results that they want, and to be able to withhold stress. I told this story earlier. My son dropped a toy this morning. He said, "Shit." He's 4 years old. I was like, "Dude, don't say that. Don't say it." "Why'd you say that?" "Because you say it." "Okay, no problem. From now on, when something goes wrong, say, 'Oh, too bad that happened, but at least I'm okay.'" It happened today, just about 30 minutes ago. He followed that information. He didn't have any information in his body, in his mind, to tell him otherwise. We have to get into these children's brain at a young age and show them it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to feel displaced. It's okay to feel all that. But what's not okay is to not talk about it, not do anything about it, or not release it in the proper manner. That's the problem. It's not okay to be disruptive, to be destructive, and to be completely offline. That's the problem. No one taught me that.
Yeah.
No one taught me that. It's easier to absorb as a child than it is to absorb as an adult, because I'm still working on it. That's it. That is the seed. And I know that we're going to get watered by the most incredible networks. I'm excited about this project, man. That's what I'm working on now, Mike, along with the people you already know.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sounds exciting.
It is, and that was, you know, something, Tone, that you let me in on. Oh God, probably 6 months ago at this point or so. And obviously, I mean, it's at the seed stage, and it's going to get watered. But I told you, I was like, bro, like wherever I can get in, let me fit in, bro. And we're working on that now, right?
Yeah,
we're working toward that. So I'm happy to be a part of that, because I think, you know, I want to touch on something, and a question might come out of this that you had said earlier as well. You said, you know, it's people such as ourselves that have gone through things that we have. We know enough about each other to make that. Same thing with you, Discreet. We know about it, you know, and of each other to include you into that as well. And here we are, you know, in our 40s now at this point. Where we had to go through all that shit, because now we're given an opportunity to take all that trauma, take the lessons learned and the mistakes that we've made. You know, whether we had fun with those mistakes or not, you know, they could be equated to mistakes, right? But to now share that in a positive way, to give that tone, as you were saying so eloquently, to that next generation, to say, yo, it's okay to feel it. Because, bro, 4 years old, 44 years old, 84 years old, we are human beings. We have emotions. And the more we can normalize emotions as a whole, like I've been really getting myself into podcasts and things like that, where it's, you know, people are talking shit, not talking shit, but talking in the sense about shit, where let's normalize as human beings, as men even, to cry. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind crying. That's a healthy emotion to me.
Every day. I cry every day.
There's
Even in the shower.
nothing wrong with that. Or telling, yo, me calling you Tone, or me calling you Discreet, and being like, yo, I'm proud of you for something that you did. Whether it's Tone the first time that I heard about this project, telling you, yo, bro, I'm proud of you for doing this. Or Discreet with a beat that you randomly made that was something different, or putting your website together. Yo, I'm proud of you, because, you know, there's only so much time in the day for you to. So
exactly,
you know, we have to Tone, and it's not sexy, right? It doesn't make money, right? People don't want to touch that shit, right? But you know what? I say, fuck that, man. I'm happy to touch that, because it's only people like this that actually truly get it. Using, you know, what's it generally said? We as human beings maybe use 2% of our mind or something like that. You know,
10% or something.
Whatever the fuck it is. I think we're tapped into a level, and I don't know, I'm hypothesizing here, but from what we're talking about right now, we see shit in ways that people don't. So I think we are on a level where we're tapping into extra percentages of our brain, because we get the selflessness that comes with it. Your Tone, you said earlier, you're selfish, but your selfishness is also combining with your selflessness to give back to the world. We all are.
Yeah.
And there ain't shit wrong with that, bro. Because without that selfishness, Tone, you will not be in a position right now, bro, to be doing what you're doing with the seeds that are being laid
you've got to be
for now in the
selfish
future.
to achieve things.
Yeah.
I think there's an element of it to, if you want to achieve a goal or whatever it may be, there's at some point you've got to be selfish to get on that ladder to get where you need to be.
Yeah, for sure. By putting yourself first, right? And putting your values and not breaking your integrity. And
not obviously 100% of the time. You've got family and, but there's moments where you think, right, I need to focus, and it's all about you sometimes. You've got to, because you're not going to get where you need to be.
Yes, 100%.
Now, I want to bring up something. I want to bring up something real quick, Tone and Discreet, if I could. Shout out to Chrissy Love Thompson. Just made a comment.
Yeah, Chris, what's up? She's OG, very very good friend.
I want to read a comment because again, Tone, you and I are both from Bridgeport. We don't live in Bridgeport. You frequent Bridgeport area a lot more than I do right now. And this is going on all over the country right now. Bridgeport school systems had a delayed start and an end start to their day early, and school canceled tomorrow because of the gun violence threats going on rampantly throughout. It's just it's
terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's disgusting.
And you talk about homeschooling. With Chelsea and I, we are now homeschooling our daughter. We pulled our daughter out of school this week for a lot of different reasons.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's massive.
That being the
that's
number
massive.
one. Because you know what, Tone, you said something. Being parents, being in a position where we are now, I want to be able to give something to my daughter, our daughter, that my parents were not able to give to me, your parents were not able to give to you, other than what our parents knew and that generation knew. Go to work to the fucking bone, make sure there's food on the table and a roof over your head. Your kids are going to be all right. Were we, though? Like, we worked through our own shit in due time.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice if we maybe didn't have to experience all that bullshit. Obviously, we talked earlier, there's a reason for that. But at the same time, fuck, bro.
Of course. Chris, we can provide, I'm seeing the comments you made. We can provide resources that were just given to me today by a lot of friends, because dude, it's unfortunately homeschooling is falling under the category of vaccinations or lack thereof. It's under religion, and it's like nobody wants to talk about it because people look at you as a parent that is neglecting your child if you don't put them. Someone told me today
there is that
at the school. I was saying, hey, I think I'm gonna pull. That's it. I'm pulling the trigger next year on this. Wrong terminology, forgive me. But I said I'm gonna do this next year, right? And they said, oh, why would you do that to your son? I'm like, you mean why would I do that for my son or to my son? I'm sorry, what? Because and that made me think. It almost makes you doubt yourself. We're not pulling them out of school because of convenience, right? Us as parents, trust me when I tell you, we look forward to 5 hours a day with no kids at home. We 100% look forward to those 5 hours a day at home without. No. 5 hours. Sorry about that.
Yes,
speaking
right
now. No candy yet. Not yet. Close the door. So, exact, right? Okay. We look forward to that. We do. So it's not exactly. It wasn't scripted, not a paid actor. So I want to do this so that my children can be excited about learning. So that my children can be excited about building something, about creating something. And like, dude, this is for them. It's not to them, right? It's just it's absolutely insane, man. And I think if we just find a community and we find our people, everybody since I was a kid has told me something's wrong with me, right? Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. You. There's a bunch of us. There's a bunch of kids that are being told this that are. So what happens is this: they either get placed somewhere, okay, and they get placed in one alternative school, or they get placed in one small place, and then that's great. You have teachers that are completely dedicated to making sure that they learn what they got to learn, right? But again, this is still under the operation that's created above them, right? They're not learning the fundamentals of what you're supposed to know in order to get yourself in a technical field. in order to get yourself right into a world of career, right? So these same parents are sitting at home in fear right now because of these gun threats, right?
Yep.
It's going crazy. I posted last night on social media, and it's, you know, it was already gotten bigger, and everyone has kept their kids home from school today and tomorrow, right? It's a readjustment
for what that'd be like.
It's absolutely disgusting. I live in South Florida, and here every single morning, I don't want to say this too loud, but every single morning I pray, let today not be the day that I have to sneak into this school and rescue my kids, because I will, guns blazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not a fear. That's not a fear to take them out of an environment where they have to live with that fear. That is what I'm doing for my son.
Yeah.
Well, and I look at it from this perspective as well. And Discreet, I'm gonna have a question for you on this, because I definitely want your perspective and thoughts to the question that I'm gonna have. You know, Chelsea and I were thinking about that tone, you know, in the sense when we were going through this, like, I don't want to, you know, for us as parents, like, we're here to give our best and I like how you said that, for our children, right? Well, how can we completely do that if we've got active PTSD going, worrying every single day about our kids, and if they're going to come home that day, or if they're not going to be traumatized by something that happened? Like, bro, we were at the skating rink last year. My daughter Jupiter was 9 at the time. And there's 9 and 8-year-olds talking about they're literally going to walk into the skating rink bathroom and go commit suicide. And they're laughing about it. That shit ain't something to be laughed about. Why are 8 and 9-year-old kids, first off, even really knowing about shit like that? That's
because
another story for another day. But
social media.
And they're finding it funny.
8 and
they're finding it funny.
They're laughing about it. I don't want
they
my
don't
daughter
understand
subjected to that. No way.
They don't understand what they're trying to make fun of.
They know it's wrong, right? They know it's something. They know it's something that's not spoken of, but they're also exposed to this, you know. And I'm guilty, dude. 1,000,000%. We do not have full access to what our children have full access to, right? Online is the number one source. Online is the number one source, and there's a lot of access to things that the young kids should not have access to. We can do our best to monitor and control, but at the end of the day, I think instilling values and instilling awareness, right? Like, I feel as if my dad rolled up a blunt and smoked it with me as a kid, I probably wouldn't have smoked later in life. I figured it out on my own, right? I feel that if we don't introduce the darkness of the world to our kids verbally and give them the tools verbally and by example on how to overcome those obstacles when they arise, then they're going to figure it out on their own. And unfortunately, on their own is not good, because there's too much influence online. And I sound like an old man, but it's in the shitty rap music. It's in, right? Not hip hop. I don't use that word. I don't use that word unless it's worthy.
No.
In the shitty rap music, I still feel old saying it, right? But it's a fact. That's where that is a
I know exactly what
that is a source.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Right? It's a source, and they're being led down the wrong path. They're guys. We got to make a difference. That's what because I can talk about this for 10 hours. Right. It's just we have to control. We have to filter.
Piper story. That's what it reminds me of. The Pied Piper story that I'm sure most of us heard growing up. The Pied Piper, you know, which is the internet and social media these days, out here just playing the motherfucking flute, and all these motherfucking kids and youngins are following, bro. Like, we gotta take that fucking flute. We gotta break that shit, and we gotta change. We gotta change the narrative. And to your point earlier, Tony, it's not easy, it's not sexy, but there is strength in numbers. So you got to keep finding and building that network with people in time that's going to make the difference, because that's how that seed grows to a beautiful fucking hickory tree, right? For those of you who don't know, hickory wood is the strongest wood, the strongest tree the fuck out there. So that's why I intently use that. Right now, what Tone is building, what we are collectively looking to build, is we have planted a hickory tree seed right now, and we are going to build that motherfucker, but it's got to be nurtured. It's got to give him the proper sun. It's got to have the proper nutrients. And that comes from different elements and different people. So like anybody out there that feels this, like, if there's anything that you can do or you want to be part of, let me know, let Tone know, let Discreet know.
We just, we have to find our community, man, because just like when I say we, because I feel that we all share the same, if not the same, I'm sorry. I feel that we all share some kind of trauma, right? We're all bonded by that, I think, because that's why we're creative. And I'm sorry for whatever that was for you guys, but know that it was predetermined, unfortunately, and we had to find our people that as kids, they weren't, and we have to find our people as adults now. We really do, and unfortunately, as an adult, as a kid, it's easy as going to the playground and them not sharing a toy. Now it's getting into relationships with people and finding out way later that they're just not good people, right? And it's watching for the red flags. And I was the bad person, by the way. I was that piece of shit. I burned people. I took advantage of every opportunity I possibly could because I was in survival mode. I didn't know how to manage or do anything, bro. I didn't have any of this that I have now.
You were conditioned that way. You were conditioned that way.
Right.
But you
and you know what?
Break the cycle.
Right. Can you help him, please? Can you guys excuse me one second?
Dude,
no worries, man.
Nah, do your thing. And
no worries.
While he's doing that, I'm going to ask this question to you, Discreet. Talking about, obviously, I mean, we know the rampant gun violence that goes on in America in general, most specifically, sadly, in our school system. We also know that collectively, again, from, the information that we're given, generally speaking, in other countries, it's nowhere close to what we experience here in the States. So I guess it's a two-part question. When you see it from somebody who lives outside the United States, in general, but more specific to the gun violence in schools and the youth, what's your thought as an outsider looking in, coming from England, and what's it like or not like pertaining to your school system for your children in your country, for example?
Well, I think it's happened once in Scotland. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I knew it happened in Scotland once. But I'll say, like, the countless times I see it on the news where it happens in America, you just
like once a day almost, honestly. Like,
it's so scary, and I can look at it and oh my God, that's terrifying, but I can't really tell you, I can't really feel what that would actually feel like. It's almost like I'm watching a movie or something. That's how surreal.
Yeah.
But
terrible.
because guns are illegal over here, and it's like that Scotland incident was 20 plus years ago. And that just doesn't happen in our schools. And the school my daughter goes to, it's like once they're all in the morning, the whole place is shut off. It's locked down. No one can get in. No one can get out.
Beautiful.
And so, I just can't imagine. Like I said, I feel a bit bad for saying, it's like a movie. But that's how it. I'm just being honest.
That's your reality. That's your reality.
And I can't. It must be scary, but I can't possibly imagine what would that feel like, knowing that someone's gone into trying to kill kids. But we did have an incident where a guy ran in. It wasn't that long ago, actually, and I apologise for everyone. But some guy ran in a nursery. It's about a month ago, to be honest, in London, I think, somewhere. I could be wrong. And he started stabbing 3-4-year-old children, and some of them died. So I apologise because I missed that one, and that was recent. But that incident was the first time in ages.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and that's mental health. Mental health is real, and someone commented that earlier. It is certainly real, and that's another area that needs attention. And
want to kill kids. I can't get my head around it. It's just absolutely fucking bizarre.
It's not normal.
Would you want to? Yeah, I cannot get my fucking head around it. It's absolutely just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Like, I'm telling you now, if there is a heaven and hell, I know there is, and God's the one who sends you to hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you're going.
It's a short place.
Forgive that.
It's a short place, man. It's a short place.
No doubt. But God is sending you there.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this, but I love that guns are illegal there. I really do.
Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna get so much shit. You have no idea how much shit I'm gonna get. Get a lot of shit for that.
But and
Excuse me,
get it.
That went down the wrong way.
No,
I know, because America are very pro guns, aren't they?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yep.
And you're right, Tone. You're right. Anybody seeing this? I mean, pro whatever, I can appreciate that. But if we're talking about the future here, we're talking about making things better for the future and our children and other people's children's, because there's so many fucking parents out there, because that's where a lot of this starts with, that don't care for their children like fucking strangers sometimes do, which is fucking sad in itself. But again, that's also a byproduct of overall mental health. There's a grander thing to that, right? Like we could have like a fucking television show, I think, on just this alone.
Yeah,
but
for
my point ultimately that I'm trying to get to is that
excuse me,
you look at a place like England, and Discreet says that this has happened in a school once, maybe in Scotland, which is another part of the actual landmass that he lives
that's
on.
not England,
right?
Yeah, it's just
20
part of
years
the UK.
ago, when this is happening damn near daily, mass shootings in the United States.
Dunblane, everyone will know what I'm talking about when I say Dunblane.
Constant threats going on a daily basis. Like we talk about access to things, right? Like if there's not the access to the shit that these individuals, these children, these minors, if there's not access to that shit, then would it really be happening at the rate that it is? Probably not. So it's like, again, what are the true symptoms? And if we're treating those, then cool. And if not, if we don't have the ability to treat the mental health, well, then we maybe have to treat something else. And it might be to your point, Tony. Listen, bro, I'm all for the Constitution, but we talked about at this top of the conversation, we are vastly in a different place than we were 30 years ago, Tony, when we were teenagers.
By far.
I respect that. So if we go back 200 plus years and we're talking about the Constitution, I'm all for the Constitution. I'm pro-America 100%. You ain't getting no arguments from me.
Right.
But we also have to take into consideration things are not the same as they were 250 years ago now.
No
and
way.
Listen, like it or not, that's the motherfucking facts.
Yeah.
That's the facts. So I'm not saying we take guns away, but there's got to be some kind of sweeping repercussions. And I know there's so much political dollars out there that's going to put a stop to my statement alone. Like, y'all might never ever even see the light of this live after it fucking goes. My shit might be cut off right now because of what we're talking about by who the fuck ever, the algorithm saying that we're talking about this right now. But I don't give a fuck, because we'll hop right the fuck back on. But again, the point is, there has to be something different that has to happen. If you're still trying to protect that Second Amendment, I'm for it. I'm with that. But we have to do it in a healthy way for our future, because if these kids keep getting taken away, even if they're not a product of gun violence directly or even indirectly, there is something indirectly that's affecting their ability to progress and learn as human beings in a healthy way emotionally, and that's being taken away by so many different things. And that's ultimately not so much in a nutshell what I was trying to get to, man.
Yeah. I agree, man.
But I support your statement, Tone. Support your and I own a gun. I own a gun.
No, listen. I get you. There's just there's a lot of changes, bro, and I hate saying I'm not gonna be the one to make the change, right? But I think we can be, and it really, it just begins with more than talking. It's action. It's doing. It's changing your life. It's changing your environments, the people you're with, and dude, I never imagined I'd be sitting here saying half of these things, man. Believe me, like the life I had and the stuff I was doing, and I never thought, and I'm grateful.
Exactly.
Now it's like I have my favorite line is I'm 41, I think 41, and we have.
I think I'm 43 soon.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we're around that age, and we statistically speaking, we have 30-ish summers left, right?
Yeah,
statistically
that's
speaking,
sort of what I tell myself. To
right,
be fair.
30 summers. Yeah. If we're lucky, it could end today, but 30-ish summers statistically. Now, I don't want to spend those 30 summers doing anything I've done in any past summer, right? What are we doing of those 30 summers? I'd like to spend 15 of those reaping the benefits or seeing or experiencing the fruitfulness of the work that we're putting in, right? The reality, right?
Positive changes. Yeah,
and that's the selfish part, because I want to be on my deathbed and know I'm on my deathbed and be able to say, damn, we made a change. And I want to look at my kids and say, I know you're going to be okay. I know you're going to be okay. That is my goal at the end of my life, to be able to look at them and say, listen, man, this is what we did for you. You're going to be all right. You got to carry this on. You got to carry this on. And that's it. That's my goal. I don't care how we get there. As long as it's by good choices, good people, and by the book. You know, gray areas are cool. They're actually very fun. But outside of that,
yeah, they're
right. They really are. And guys, I appreciate the time you gave me today. Thank you.
No, thank you,
no
bro.
trouble, man.
Thank you, bro.
It's awesome.
I appreciate the time. We're gonna start to segue, ladies and gentlemen, to our hot takes and our hip hop history here. You're gonna be seeing Groove again. You're gonna be seeing Groove again.
Yeah, please. I'd love to
meet you too, bro.
The door's always open.
You too, man. I do. I have a 3:30, but I'd love to hop in this convo real quick for 5 minutes on the hip hop, if I may. Talk to you.
Yes.
Please.
Discreet. You wanna run down hip hop history real quick, and let's get thoughts on hip hop history this week.
I mean, I'll go through the birthdays quickly. It's just all legendary shit. It is. 10th of September. Big Daddy Kane was 56 years old.
Yeah.
And the 12th of September, Busy Bone was 48 years old. The 13th of September, unfortunately, Tupac was taken away from us in 1996.
Yeah.
And we spoke about that on Sunday, didn't we, Mike?
Yes, we did.
We could talk for hours on that as well. But 14th of September, Nas, he was 51 years old. And releases, 8th of September, 1998, Cannabis released his debut album, Cannabis. I said about it Sunday, didn't I? Cannabis.
You got it, bro.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
2009, the same day, on the 8th of September, Jay-Z released his 11th album, The Blueprint 3.
Appreciate you, Tony Dante.
The 9th of September, 2000, MOP released a single, Anti-Up. That day, Mike, I listened to that about 4 times in a row. It was on repeat. 11th of September, 2001, that day, Jay-Z released his 6th album, The Blueprint. I've not looked into that yet, Mike, what we talked about.
I haven't.
No, I'm going to. 11th of September 2007, Kanye West released his 3rd album, Graduation. And also, same day, 50 Cent released Curtis. And we all know about that great battle.
Yeah.
12th of September 1989, MC Lyte released her 2nd album, Eyes on This. 13th of September 1994, the Notorious B.I.G. released his debut album, Ready to Die.
Ready to Die, baby.
I tell you what, I looked for this on Spotify the other day, and I was going through it, and I was like, where is it? It's gone. They've bloody changed the cover on it, haven't they? It fucking got me.
Interesting. So Tom, let me ask you real quick.
Wait, I've not finished.
What sticks out for you? I'm sorry.
I've not finished yet.
Go ahead. There's more? God.
Yeah, just 2 more. 14th of September 1990, I've been listening to this on repeat as well. LA Cool J released his 4th album, Mama Said Knock You Out. I can't stop listening. I tell you what, that album is 10 times better than I remember it. It's awesome. Yeah. September 14th, 1999, Old Dirty Bastard released his 2nd and last album, Neighbor Please, I'll call it. September 15th, 2009, Kid Cudi released his debut album, Man on the Moon, for End of the Day.
Damn.
That's all of it. If you can remember all of that. I normally go for it a lot slower, Gruff, but I just went for it really quick then. So I hope you love it.
So real quick, Tommy, I know you got to pop off. What kind of just sticks out to you in general? Anything specific or any kind of generality that you want to give on that hip-hop history from what you heard?
I mean, just really for me, on that list, Big Daddy Kane, Biggie, Tupac, Cannabis, LL. These were all in my era. They were all. I witnessed it all happen. Big Daddy Kane I was much younger, but I was able to absorb I call it the overlay of that era of music. It was still being played. It was still heavy. The records were being pressed. You know what I'm saying? And it was experience. And in high school, and you know why I made in the DJ community, people make fun of me, right? My peers make fun of me. They say Groove's always stuck in the 90s and the 2000s. I'm known for that. I'm now getting calls for the classic parties and like, you know, right? Yeah. So no, let's go. Now, why is that? Because that is the. Go ahead. Continue.
I'll quickly say I want to get back into DJing. Right, something happened last night, and I thought I want to get back into it and mix hip hop. That's the joint I'll be playing. I'm playing the 90s. I'm playing the 2000s.
It's the best. It's for me. It's the best follow-up era to the best hip hop era prior to that. Okay, honestly, and because after that, let's just be real, it went to shit. There was some good stuff, and there's so, and I call it. I'm from the hood, so I can use this word. It's the ratchet hip hop, the ratchet rap. There's a couple that are okay, right? There are. They've bled through, but in all. I love 90s and 2000s because in those albums and those songs and a lot of the because it's a timestamp. The same reason I have a million tattoos. I can tell you at what point in my life by any tattoo where I was mentally, where I was physically, who was alive, who was around, where I was at in my journey. And the same thing with music. It brings me back to the high school days, to when people were, man. That's why I love everything you're naming here. It automatically. Damn, I remember when this came out. I remember getting the CD. I remember going to FYE and picking out the fucking CD and you know what I mean? The whole experience.
Cool J. Mama said "Knock You Out," right? I got that album years and years and years ago. I've got it in my drawer right down there, and I always loved that album. But when I was writing up this hip hop history, I came across. I was like, oh damn, I'm gonna have to listen to that. And this was before I come and. I thought this album's 10 times better than it used to be. I'm listening
to it now because 100%. Have you heard his new
in
stuff?
The last week.
It's actually good.
It's actually good. To that today as well. I've listened to that about 5 times.
It's good. It's good. Lyrically, it brings you back to that album. You know what I'm saying?
And he's 56 years old, and listen to the way he's spitting bars. It's crazy. It's
beautiful, bro.
It's beautiful. Wow.
It is.
Tone, I'm gonna ask you one last question, and you answer this question, and then you say anything last that you want to say before you gotta hop off. And I know I'll be talking to you later, anyways.
Of course.
I'll start the question with this. Number one, listen, people. Tone knows how to throw a fucking party, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the best parties I'll always remember. Tone came up to Rhode Island when I was living in Rhode Island. We throw a party. Tone brought all his shit up from Connecticut, all his DJ equipment. He still had the big ass motherfucking speakers at this time. Laid it up. Yo, we threw a party for like 4 or 5 days straight.
That's right, man.
4 or 5 days straight. All right. So here's the question, Tone. I'll let you answer the question, and then you write out with saying your goodbyes and close the door to all the outsiders out here. What is it in general? You've been doing this for a fucking minute. You've been a DJ for a minute. What is it, if you could only pick one thing, what is it about being a DJ that you just fucking love, bro? That you just fucking love?
It's the ability to, realist answer, no bullshit.
Yes.
What I love about DJing, for me, is an escape. It's an escape.
Yeah.
For the 4-hour set, for the 2-hour set, for the 3-hour set, none of my problems exist. None of them. They're tuned out. They don't exist. It's all about what I'm doing there. That is the same child that's the same child in me that is looking to escape what he was trying to escape when he was a kid. Right. And that's in creation. And then the second part to the answer is my absolute favorite part is getting to meet the people that I'm meeting. And finding people will find your frequency and they will immediately become known. They're gonna know who they are. They're gonna know who you are, because there's very few of us that are walking on the same level. Trust me. We all interact, we all coexist, but very few of us are actually on the same frequency. And it's when you're tuned in, when you're truly in, when you're tuned in, it's easy to look left and right, and it's like infrared, like Predator. You know exactly who's who. You know exactly who's who. That's my favorite part of this. That's my favorite part of this, bro. And guys, thank you. What I want to close in saying is thank you for the opportunity to speak and to talk a little bit about this new project that I'm really going all in on. And the purpose is we got to make a change, and it begins with the children, man. I did all the busy rooms, and once I started seeing who am I entertaining, and why am I entertaining them? Are we giving them a space, and are we the reason that they're doing all the shitty shit in life? Right? didn't find fulfillment anymore. Look at my page 6 months ago. Go to my social media page and look at my page 6 months ago, and you'll see me DJing 4 or 5 nights a week everywhere. You look at my shit now, you can barely see where I'm performing because I took myself out of that. I had to. I had to. The purpose is bigger, and this platform has allowed me to talk about that. So I appreciate it very much.
No,
and
thank you, bro.
I want to. We have to turn this up, guys. We got to turn this up, and you know, just thank you. I'm really grateful, man. I'm very grateful because not a lot of people care to hear about this kind of shit.
I'm sure plenty of people are going to see this. So yeah.
Oh, they
definitely.
are. And the door is always, bro. Our door's always open. You're always welcome outside with us, bro. Anytime you just say the word.
I appreciate it.
All right, bro. You get back to business. I'm sure I'll be talking to you later on this evening as well, bro. So appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, bro.
It was a pleasure to meet you, man. It was a pleasure to meet you, dude. And thank you. And I look forward to speaking more. Thank you guys so much, man. And next trip to London, we're coming over, brother.
Oh, he'll be here next summer too. He'll be here next summer.
I'm coming over. I want to come over.
Get up on the DJ skills. We'll throw you in a booth. You say the day. I got you. Done
I'm
deal.
gonna pick it up easy.
Okay, it's not a problem.
Cool.
Okay,
I'll talk
buddy.
to you a little bit, brother.
All right, guys.
Cheers, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah,
take care.
No worries.
All right. Discreet. He's gonna get off. You can still hear me, Discreet, right?
Yeah, I've got you, man. I can hear you.
Perfect.
I think it's just froze on Groove.
Yeah, he might have frozen on Groove's
cool.
end.
But that was fucking cool, bro. But I'm glad he was talking about that for ages, and that's exactly what we wanted.
Yes. Yes, bro. I'm definitely helping him out where I can on the back end, which you know about. So more to come. People out, you know, all our outsiders out there. More to come on that. So exciting stuff going on there for sure. But man, like, how the hell did we follow that up, bro? Like, that was a dope segment. That was a dope segment. We went damn near an hour, but again, like, some of our best conversations end up going about an hour, bro. So
exactly, longer. You know,
we won't talk too much more on hip hop history. Because you know, if y'all want to know our thoughts on hip hop history, go back to Monday's special edition. Monday. We did a special edition on Monday. It
was Monday.
Because we were traveling back from North Dakota. So we couldn't do Sunday. So we did a special recap edition on Monday. So go check out our views on hip hop history. But with that said, is there anything that you maybe want to add from what you spoke on from Monday? Or anything that Tone had to speak on from his views on hip hop history today?
I mean, his is similar to, well, ours, really. I mean, just that era of that list is just, but like I said, because of that list, I've gone LL crazy again the last week or so. All I've been listening to is Mama Said Knock You Out, his new album, and Hectic's new album. Them 3 albums I've just had it in rotation for about 2 weeks, I would say now. So yeah, it's always inspiring, hip hop history. It really makes me listen to music I've not listened to for fucking years. Do you know what I mean? So I love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm with you, bro. So that was a good conversation. We'll have him on again. We will definitely have him on.
Oh, definitely.
But I think and bro, I'm gonna be very honest with you when I tell you this. I have not said anything to Tone about you and your previous DJing skills. But there was a reason last night I sent you on your journey when we were having that conversation.
Yeah.
And how funny is it that Tone said what he said today?
I know.
He's the guy to know. If you want to get into DJing here in the States, bro, I'm telling you, Tone's the dude to know.
He'll put me on the right track.
Man.
But I've got no worries about picking it up again. Do you know what I mean? You could put a set in front of me now, set them all up, and I'm sure within half hour, I'll be in my groove.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Excuse the pun. Yeah, pun intended, yeah. I would be in my groove. Telling them.
Too funny, bro. Too funny. So here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a science project.
Right.
Kind of. We're talking science and hip hop. How the fuck do we do that? Well, people, if you have not been outside, we find any way possible to tie something into hip hop. And today we are talking about science and hip hop. So Discreet, have you ever heard the expression, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yes.
Well,
I have.
The science experiment today is what came first, the MC or the DJ? The motherfucking DJ came first, bro.
Yeah,
so,
I was just about to say the DJ came first. Yeah.
So that's our answer to the science question today. So that's gonna influence our hip hop hot takes today, because the DJ came first before anybody picked up a mic.
Yep.
And Tone, I love how Tone put it when he was talking earlier, when he put that first album on and just the hand movement. He was like, oh shit.
Bro, do you remember a track called well, the group was called No Limit, and they had a song called No Limit. No, right? I had this girlfriend, I was so young, but her brother had this one deck, right? And he used to be upstairs just scratching that record. And I'll be up there with him doing it as well. And she'd be like, oh man. But just honestly, scratching is so satisfying. It's such a satisfying thing to do. But yeah, I remember that. I was about 13 then. But
it's fun.
No. Fucking crazy.
So we're gonna talk about DJs today. We talked to a DJ today. You know, by the way, go follow DJ Gruv. He's got his DJ Gruv page, but he's got his Groovy Hospitality page out there. Instagram, Facebook, throws experiences. He doesn't throw parties. He curates experiences, and that's what Groovy Hospitality is all about. I've been getting to know that the last week or two quite in depth, and there's a reason for that, and you motherfuckers will find out at the appropriate time. So love y'all, but you're gonna wait on that. So with that said, let's get right in our hot takes, and we're gonna mention a couple different mention a couple different DJs that became producers. That's where we're going with this, right? And we're gonna just talk on them in general, and then I'm gonna give the hot take of the week. All right, so that's what we're gonna do with our science experiment this week. So a couple of the people and some individuals, again, we're dropping history even when we're not talking hip hop history segment itself. What you got?
Sorry, bro, I'm still.
No, I just lost Discreet. Discreet will be back, but while we're waiting on Discreet to get back, this is what we're talking about for our hip hop history segment. Hot takes this week. All these individuals that I'm about to mention were DJs before they became producers, and then we're going to take the hot take of the week from this. So, you know, let's just talk. I mean, a producer's job, we know what that is. DJ's job, we know what that is, to move the crowd, right? So it's really going from a DJ moving a crowd in person to that next level of a producer through the same thing, music and creativity, creating that vibe for people over and over and over again when you're not even in the building. So let's talk about a couple. Some are going to be very well known. Dr. Dre, of course, started as a DJ. Manny Fresh, Swizz Beatz, Lil Jon, J Dilla, DJ Premier, Marley Marl, KG, DJ Mustard, D Nice, Lee Scratch Perry, Ninth Wonder, my bad, Evil D, DJ Wayne Williams, and Prince Paul. These are just a few. But let's go ahead and get Discreet back on here. Bear with us here for a moment. I got you, Discreet. I'm bringing you back on. There we go.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, cool.
Sorry about that, bro.
No, you're good.
My daughter.
No, you're all fine. You're all fine, man. Family's the most important thing, especially when it comes to our kids, bro. So, so what I was just doing before we hopped you on, I was just talking about a couple people that were DJs first before they actually became very well-known producers. People like Dre, Manny Fresh, Swizz Beatz, Prince Paul, Lee Scratch Perry, DJ Mustard, DJ Premier, all were DJs before they became producers, right? So, you know, we talked about tone. I was kind of talking about, how like a DJ moves the crowd in person, right?
Yeah.
But it's a whole nother level when you start producing a track, which I know you can appreciate as a DJ previously, and now working back towards that, but also now being a music producer with what you do. With respect to music as well, it takes a special person to take that leap, because the challenge as a producer, let alone being a good producer, is you got to read the crowd that's not even in front of you. So like,
exactly.
So how do you do that? Like, how do you? And you know what? At first it was kind of a more rhetorical question, but sometimes, don't take this wrong way, not that I forget of what you do,
Yeah.
but we get so entrenched with the conversation that we're in the moment, I forget that I'm talking to a producer. So with that said, what's that like for you? What's that challenge for you when you're trying to, now obviously, yes, part of it is when you're talking with the artist themselves, well, what are you looking for? But what's that process like for you when you're trying to create something for a mass audience, or at least a target audience that artist might be looking for, but you can't move that feel, you can't feel that as you would when you're literally in a room DJing.
In a way, I know this sounds, to people who don't make music, would sound a bit mad, but I found it easy, and this is how it's just like, when it comes to making beats for the first time, and I thought of the type of beats I want to make, and what I basically done, I went back to the days where you were with friends listening to songs like hip hop tracks, and I remember them real dirty, dark tracks, and I remember looking around the room and everyone's like, yeah, this is sick. And I thought, and then when it came to making beats similar to that, I knew in my head, when I'm making a track sometimes, most of the time, I'm listening, and I know for a fact there's people in this fucking world that are going to be like, whoa, this is sick. Because I've been in them, I've had them experiences in rooms, and you all hear music together, and you love it, and you can see the people around you love it. So when I'm making music, I know. And if I'm making something, and it's normally at the beginning, and I'm just not feeling it, that's probably because, in my experience, when I was younger, this is type, no one was nodding their head to this. Let's start again. But it's like, you just know, when I'm making a beat, I just know, like, this is fucking good. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone in the world's going to like it, but I know there's a crowd out there who's going to love it. Do you know what I mean? But like, to answer it, how do I get that feel of what people want to hear? That's where I take it from, like, in them experiences with other people and hearing music come on and watching people's reaction, basically.
No, that makes sense, because I think it's important for people to realize that, like, obviously there's similarities, but there's differences between, like, a DJ and a producer, right? Because
definitely.
A DJ, of course, plays music, but it's a curator, right? We talk about curation all the time. You as a DJ, or anybody out there as a DJ, you're curating the experience. If you're going,